YouTube, what is up? It is Ethan here again, filming part 2 of my 3-part video series for my hike to Eagle Mountain. The Eagle Mountain Summit here in the beautiful Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness in northeastern Minnesota. And check this out. That, my friends, is Whale Lake, and right in front of you there, that is Eagle Mountain. The tallest point in the state of Minnesota, 2,300 feet. Seemingly not that impressive, but like I said, trust me, the views up there are spectacular. And like I said, there's the lake. Very beautiful. As you can see, it's very green, all green, thickly forested. Just beautiful. All right, wow, I'm gonna go ahead. I just came from that direction over there, so now I'm going to be hiking around, continuing on the trail, hiking halfway around the lake, and then I'll begin the ascent up the mountain. So let's get going. Part 2. I remember the first time I hiked this trail a couple of years ago. It was in early spring, so there was still a lot of snowy and icy patches because the snow does not melt up here usually like completely until like I think middle of May usually. And you can still tell it's still really muddy even though it is now late June. It's still really muddy, and a lot of the streams and rivers up here are still flowing pretty heavily because of all the recent snow melt. Although I think there also has been quite a bit of rain recently, so that might be more of a reason why it's like that, but whatever. So, yeah, like I said, just continuing my hike here on the Eagle Mountain Trail. Like I said, going around Whale Lake, which, by the way, for all of those wondering, there are no whales in Whale Lake. I think the biggest thing you might expect to see out there are some brook trout or something. Some brookies, walleye. Very muddy here, as you can see. Extremely muddy. Like I said, there has been quite a bit of rain recently. So there have been quite a few patches of the trail that have been pretty muddy. But overall, it's not a bad hike. Some things to definitely keep in mind if you yourself decide to take a trip out here is, number one, all the trails out here are quite rocky. It's not so bad here. But if I get to an area where the trail gets really rocky again, which I'm sure it will be like that soon, but I mean, you can see there's a good amount of rocks here. But like I said, all the trails are very rocky out here, so it's just very important to remember that and bring a good enough pair of shoes so that it won't bother you. Another thing to keep in mind is, oh, look at that little, kind of see the lake through the trees there. But another thing to definitely keep in mind are the bugs. If you don't hear anything else I say today, up real quick, here's an example of how rocky the trail can get. And then of course it's also pretty muddy in this section too. But yeah, most of the trails are like that out here. Very rocky, roots sticking out of the ground, all that stuff. You have to watch where you're walking. But like I said, if you don't hear anything else, any other thing that comes out of my mouth in this video, hear this. Bring bug spray, tons of it. Because if you don't, you will die. The mosquitoes and the flies and just all of the bugs out here are unbelievable. They're horrible. And like I said, if you don't bring some, and I'm not talking about just some off that you buy in a CVS or a Walgreens or something. I'm talking about that heavy duty, like 80-90% DEET stuff that you get at like REI. Trust me, you will need it. And even with that, you're still gonna walk out of here with a few mosquito bites. And also another thing just to remember is that it is very remote out here. Like I said in the first video, all put together, you know, the Superior National Forest, what I'm in right now, is 4 million acres, but all put together, there's like almost 10 million acres of wilderness up here. So help is very far away. Look at that. Just beautiful. Right here on the shore of the lake right now. Don't really have a good vantage point of Eagle Mountain at this moment. And as you can see, the very rocky and rooty trail, that's right, I said rooty, it continues this way. So here's a very good example of what I was talking about. As you can see, the trail is covered in huge rocks. Got to be careful hiking through here. I personally have twisted my ankle while hiking out here in the Boundary Waters, and it is no fun. So watch where you're walking, because you make a bad step, and if all you get is a twisted ankle, you'll be lucky. Look at that. Some water lilies. Tons of them all out on the lake. It's beautiful. Nothing but wilderness. Everywhere you look. I believe that little rock outcropping over there is a campsite. Very cool. Whale Lake, ladies and gentlemen. Have I said it enough? Alright, well, see, look at this. I keep getting even better and better examples of how the trail conditions are out here. Look at that. Freaking crazy. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video off here. My next video is going to be from the Eagle Mountain Summit, so make sure you watch part 3. And I will see you guys up there. Have a good one.